Welcome to the Invest with Dennis channel. Today we are talking about buying versus renting. The real cost of home ownership. Which path builds your wealth faster? Buying versus renting. I know this is a very, very controversial topic. Some people are all in favor of purchasing a home. Some people are all in favor of renting a home. I've had the courtesy of being a renter and living in an apartment, and I have the courtesy right now of being a homeowner. And I'll try to be as realistic and honest as possible. Let's just dive deep into it. The 14 costs of home ownership. This is just limited to the expenses that I incur every month being a homeowner, but it extends broader than what is listed right here. What buyers rarely budget for upfront when you purchase a home. This is just advice to someone who's trying to buy a home, and this is just for entertainment purposes, but you can make your own decisions. The mortgage payment, principal and interest monthly. HOA fees. There are certain communities that are non-HOA, but where I live, there are HOA fees. Solar lease. I have solar, yes. Apart from the solar bill, there's also an electric bill from my local electrical company. Water, utilities, trash, and garbage. Electric bill, like I'd mentioned, it's not just the solar bill, there's an electric bill as well. Cell phone bill, and cell phone includes myself, my wife, and also my kids, all the tablets. When you're on the road, they're part of my cell phone bill. Cable and internet. Yes, cable and internet, you have to pay a cable and internet bill. Monthly fumigation. Pest control. You don't want roaches. You don't want rats. Ring subscription. You purchase a home. You want to make sure it's a safe neighborhood. Even though the neighborhood is safe, you also want to make sure that you are safe. Netflix. Yes, we love entertainment. You can find free movies online, but nothing comes close to Netflix because it provides that level of entertainment that you don't even need to go to a movie theater. Car insurance. Yes, a car. My wife and I share a car, but we have to pay car insurance for that. Mortgage insurance as well. Amazon Prime. And apart from Amazon Prime, some people have DoorDash, so you can put that as number 15. And also, apart from that, if you want to go out once in a while, weekends with friends, you don't want to drink and drive, you have to look at transportation fees, apart from having a car. There's Lyft and there's Uber. These are just minimum 14 bills that you have to pay on a monthly basis. These bills are not going away. And these are some of the things that people do not account for sometimes when they're purchasing a home. Because there's that excitement of having a home, being a homeowner, being part of the American dream. It's not just in America, worldwide. Who doesn't want to own a home? And on top of that, in the United States, we have 30-year mortgages. People really take out 15-year mortgages. So for the next 30 years, you are tied to this property and you have to maintain it. Let's go on to the next slide, guys. Advantages of buying. What are the advantages of buying a home? Equity and wealth building. Every mortgage payment grows your net worth. Home appreciation averages 3 to 5% annually. A full savings account. So using your home savings account, and you are forced to have a savings account. And the way you're forced to have a savings account is you're paying that mortgage and, hopefully your house appreciates. I'm fortunate enough, I'm in California. Houses generally do tend to appreciate in California faster than most parts of the nation, but it takes a while. Tax advantages: deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, exclude up to 500K in capital gains at sale if you're married. Leverage and appreciation: control a $600,000 asset with 10 to 12 or to 20% down. Gain can equal 25 to 50% return on your down payment. Oh, these are some of the advantages. Stability and predictability: if you get a fixed rate, a 30-year fixed mortgage, and no landlord can raise rent on you because you've got a fixed mortgage. Freedom to customize: that's versus HOA. You just can't do whatever you want to do with your home. It depends on that. Credit and financial strength: if you buy a home, it shows on your credit score, and if your credit is, you're building up your credit, that's also a good thing. It can also help lenders see, oh, you know what, this guy's responsible enough. He was able to purchase a home. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Disadvantages of buying a home, right? 14 plus bills per month, like I mentioned on the previous slide. Maintenance and responsibility. Reduce mobility. You can't just move wherever you want to move unless you decide to put the house on rent and then decide, all right, I'm going to live California. I'm going to the East Coast. Liquidity and capital lockup. Down payments, that ties up a lot of money. It's a lot. There's a lot of paperwork involved when you're purchasing a home, guys. Trust me, it's a lot, especially here in the United States. Market risk. Yes, it's not all the time that home prices go up. Look at the 2008 financial crisis. Home prices actually went down for a couple of years. You have to be ready for that. A crash can happen. You know, it's not just guaranteed you're going to own a home all the time and, the home prices will continue going up. PMI and early interest. With down payments, PMI adds costs with zero equity benefit. Early mortgages are mostly interest and not equity. For the most part, pretty much for the next, 10 to 15 years, I'm just paying on the interest of the home. Most people don't realize that. But that is also a disadvantage of home buying because sometimes people don't account for that. Let's move on to the next slide. Advantages of renting. Yes, there are a lot of advantages of renting. Most people don't realize that. Flexibility and mobility. If you're renting, if you're tired of the neighborhood, if you find a new job in the East Coast, or if you're in the East Coast, you have a house, you find a good job in Texas or wherever, there's that flexibility. Maybe you can break the lease, or if the lease is about to expire, and boom, there you go. You're not tied down to one particular place for 30 years, guys. That's actually one of the most important advantages of renting. No maintenance costs. Yes, I'm sure, sometimes there's a little bit of maintenance you have to do, but for the most part, the apartment takes care of that. The apartment management company takes care of that. Whereas when you own a home, if something breaks down in your house, or whether it's a garbage disposal or anything, or the HVAC, AC, whatever you want to call it, you are responsible for all those payments. And those payments can add up real quick, especially if you don't have a new built home, if you have a fixer-upper, or even a new built home. Things can break down, guys. So the maintenance costs, some people would rather just rent because they don't want to deal with that. Simpler monthly budget. Yes, for the most part, when you purchase a home, a mortgage tends to be slightly higher than rent sometimes. It depends what part of the country where you are, but sometimes it's just simpler just to live in a smaller place, a smaller apartment, other than living in a 4 or 5 bedroom home. Lower upfront costs. Yes, lower upfront costs, no crazy huge down payments. Maybe you just have a deposit, deposit just in case you decide to move out and all that good stuff. Invest the difference. Yes, if you are renting and there's some extra money, you can use that extra money to invest in the stock market. Whereas sometimes having a mortgage, which I've experienced myself, sometimes it doesn't leave you with a lot of wiggle room to invest your extra money because it's tied down to the mortgage, fixing this, fixing that, the lawn, and all that good stuff. No market risks. Yes, as a renter, you don't have to worry about, oh my God, my equity in my home. Look, I bought this house for $500,000. Now, 2 years later, the market is doing poorly. Now this home is only worth 450. Those are some of the advantages of renting. Disadvantages of renting: no equity accumulation. Yes, you are paying someone else's mortgage. No tax benefits. You can be easily forced to move out. The landlord will be like, you know what, I'm selling this house, I'm tired of it. Oh, you know, property management company might be like, oh, you guys are making too much noise, the music is so loud, you got to move out. Rent, they can increase rent for the most part. Usually on a yearly basis, rent is does increase. Restrictions and rules, yes. You're living in an apartment complex, or even if you're living in someone's house, if you're renting a house, you just can't do whatever you want to do to that house because it's not yours. So those are some of the disadvantages of renting. No appreciation upside. You know, you're renting, so it's not like your property is going to appreciate. It's not yours. So these are some of the disadvantages of renting. And all right, head-to-head comparison. This is where you look at it. Upfront cost, low cost when it comes to renting, monthly budget, one or two bills only. Nah, even when you're renting, there's still some bills that you have to pay. One or two bills only that's not enough. That's not adequate. Equity, yes, builds every payment. No equity. Flexibility, low flexibility, you can't even move. High flexibility when you're renting. Appreciation, yes, renting, no upside appreciation. Maintenance, your responsibility when you are a homeowner. Renting, landlord's responsibility. Tax benefits if you own a home. Renting, none. Market risk, yes, a lot of market risk when you own a home. Renting, there's not too much market risk because you don't own the property. And should you buy or rent? 3 questions every financial decision hinges on. Guys, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not here to tell people whether to buy or own a home. Everyone's money situation or financial situation is different. But from my experience, take your time. Just do your own due diligence depending on the neighborhood where you are, even whatever city you are or whatever country you're in. Because at the end of the day, you know, wherever country you go, see that you're renting or you are a homeowner. How long will you stay? If you buy, you have to look at this as a long-term thing, personally. Or you might be a person who buys and flips homes. Situations are different. Transaction costs can be extremely high. Renting. Renting, usually people stay in places 2, 3 years, but some people stay longer. It just depends. What's your financial position? Buy strong savings, stable income, ready to handle 14 plus monthly payments. Rent, still building reserves. Rent preserves capital for investment. That's one of the advantages. And then, two, what's your local market? In the market where you are you planning on staying there long term? Is it your dream place? Or are you planning on going somewhere else? So these are just for the decision. So there's no right or wrong decision when it comes to when to buy or rent in a home. It's all financial, and you just have to take your time and just do your own due diligence. Don't look at your friend. Look at your own financial situation and then make a decision from that. So like I said, guys, this is only for entertainment purposes. This is the Invest with Dennis channel. We talk about different aspects of the economy, investing, which home ownership or renting are part of that equation. If you like more of this content, guys, please like and subscribe, share the word. Let's build wealth together. Peace and blessings to everyone. Ciao. And I will definitely see you in the next exciting video.